38 on Road to a Million, it looks like. I was walking around, did some running today, just kind of got out in nature, listened to a podcast as well, and was asked, or I guess learned that I may not be who I think I am because thoughts aren't actually based in reality. Like, I mean, everybody has thoughts, but I would always identify with my thoughts of, oh, this must be who I actually am. But maybe that's not necessarily the case. Maybe instead, like, the thoughts that I have aren't actually me. I'm going to dig into that a little bit deeper and think about that a little bit more, but that was just something that I came across today, and I was like, that's quite interesting, actually. And then it's just a matter of, I guess, doing, and, like, it's okay to fail. Like, I've failed a lot along my journey, and I was like, yeah, it's okay, like, it's cool that I failed, but I think it's hurt me to a certain degree and made me think that if I try something new, I'm going to fail at it again because I failed at the same thing before. The example I can give is like creating YouTube content or videos. Like, I failed making YouTube videos in the past, and it's made it so, like, I don't want to make. It's like, well, if it didn't work beforehand, why would I put in more work if I already know that this video is not going to get views, type of thing. It's just, I think my thinking is starting to shift a little bit. I don't know. I'm still working through this, but like the anime channel that I have where I post like anime content, essentially, like, it's gotten a couple hundred subs or so mid-September-ish, which is pretty good, like, for posting shorts. I guess I just always identified with, since I did one thing, like, since I created content, since I failed at creating YouTube videos in the past and I wasn't able to actually get monetized, I wasn't able to leave my job, I wasn't able to make it happen, it's just like, well, why even try? Like, I failed before, so I'll fail again. I might as well just stop now so I don't fail again. I might as well just self-sabotage myself, essentially, so that I don't have to fail again and start over and try something new. I'm going to watch a movie tonight, and then I'm also going to take off 3 months. Because I've come to realize that no job, no amount of money is worth my mental health. I have enough saved up where I can at least take off 3 months. And in the meantime, like, during that 3-month time frame, obviously going to keep making YouTube videos. I'm just not going to be focused on the outcome as much. Like, I'll just focus on my input, do what I can, which clearly seems to be working out. Like, when I'm not worried about the output, like, I'm just worried about, like, hey, this is what I'm putting out. Like, if you like it, cool. If not, like, okay. Because I think before I would identify with what the content was. So, like, if I didn't get views, it would be like, okay, well, that hurt me because that was a part of me being put into this specific piece of content. So it's like, if I didn't get the views or the likes or the shares that I wanted to, it's like, okay, that means that person doesn't like me. Life's funny. But I guess it's okay to fail. Just because I failed once at the YouTube, and I only failed because I wasn't trying. Like, I didn't actually put any effort, because whenever I was in school growing up, like, elementary school, never had to study. Middle school, never had to study. High school, never had to study. College, never really had to study. Like, maybe a little bit, but, like, I was able to bullshit my way through it at least enough to be able to, like, pass the things that I needed to do. Like, there's a book that I have down there. I wonder if I can find it. Don't see it. I might have gotten rid of it, but I was pretty sure that I had it still. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. It was a book that one of my professors wrote, and we had to read it for class and write up a whole, like, essay on it, essentially, like, explain how we did what we did or whatever it was. And then, like, I read the whole book in a single day, and then I wrote a bullshit paper and I got an A on it. So it's like, I didn't have to try and I got a good grade. There's correlation there, I feel like. So that's why it's like, instead of me worrying so much about like the outcome, and I know I'm going to have to learn, I know I'm going to have to study different areas and different ways of doing things. But for right now, I've realized that it's like either I die or I succeed. Like that's where I'm at. Like I'm no longer at this like passive waiting point in the void of like, okay, when is the time going to come? When is the time going to come? When is the time going to come? There is no time that comes. The time is just now. Like this is the only time that I have, so I might as well give it a go. I might as well take off the 3 months, see what I can do, and at least track it. And if there's at least some steady progress within that 3 month time frame, then I can decide like, okay, do I want to keep doing this, making videos such as this, making YouTube videos, like doing podcasts essentially, or do I need to go back and get another job? Like with how I am, and everybody that I talk to has told me not to do it this way, but like with how I am, I need something that's like, I can't do these two things at once. I can't do like a full-time job and then do content on the side, because when I do that, it's like the content hinders, because it's like, well, I don't really need this. Like I have this other check coming into me each and every single day. So like, why would I focus and put all my effort in this thing over here when I know that I'm safe and secure right here where I'm at right now? So I need to have that, I guess, that desperation essentially, which is what I learned from the video that I was listening to today. It's like, have the desperation, like it's either this or like I'm out of this place essentially. Like I figure like that's what works for me. That's not what works for everybody. Some people, like one of my friends, he needed to have his, like it took him forever to make that decision. He was making more money and he could have left like that, but he needed to have more security, and I think have me be able to be like, hey, dude, you're not thinking big enough. Like you can do more. And I talked about this on another day. I can't remember the exact one, but it's like he has so much that he can do, just like myself. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe who I think I am is not the person I actually am. Like maybe I'm way more like maybe I'm stronger than I could ever even imagine. And I've been conditioned to believe that I'm weak, that I'm inferior, that I don't deserve the same things that everybody else deserves, because of my conditioning, because of the people that have hurt me in the past. And then that in turn makes it so that I hurt myself and I hold myself back. It's been an emotional couple of months. I needed it to happen. But I think that I have been conditioned by other people to lower myself and not think as highly of myself as I once had. Because like I had pretty girls in middle school, essentially. Girls that I was very attracted to. And they told me that I looked dumb with the t-shirt that I had on. That hurt me at that time, so then I stopped wearing t-shirts that had logos on it or any sort of branding, because it would make me feel like, oh, she doesn't like this. And I like her, so if I like her and she doesn't like this thing, then that means she doesn't like me. So I just stopped wearing them. It's why I wear these blank t-shirts now, is because it's easier for me to just put this on instead of thinking like, oh, did I wear the right shirt? Did I not wear the right shirt? And I never really like, these are things that I guess I pushed down for so long. But like I was meditating the other night, and even today too, where I went, like a part of me feels like I saw myself trapped in this cage. And it wasn't just like a single layer cage. The cage had like multiple different layers. And then there's like my essence in the middle of that cage, just locked up, asking to be let out. And I'm like, who put you in there? Why are you in there to begin with? How can I get you out of that place? Because that place is not the place that you need to be. That place is someone else put you there. And I know I was the one that I'm the one that's allowing myself to stay there. I can free myself. I don't have to be that person. I don't have to let other people dictate my self-worth. I get to decide that. Not the views, not the numbers, not the books, not the other people's opinions of myself. Like, I get to decide my self-worth. I thought I always had high self-worth or high self-esteem, and maybe I did or do in a certain regard. But whenever somebody would question and say something negative about me, it would hurt me because it would bring me back to that time when I was hurt before. So it's something that I just have to do. Like, people are gonna be like, yeah, that's crazy. At least that's what I think they'll say. For all I know, they could be wrong. Like the other day, I was walking around with my GoPro, and one guy on the walk was like, "Oh, you mapping out the whole Highline Canal?" I was like, "Yeah, kind of, sort of. Like, I'm just trying to just record, essentially. Like, that's all I was really doing. I'm just doing whatever it takes to help me get to the place to where I want to be, and I have to do that by doing exposure therapy, essentially." And then I ran into some other people as well, and they're like, "Are you recording?" And like, these were thoughts in my head that I was like, these things are gonna kill me. These things are gonna completely destroy everything that I know, everything that I am. And yet, when I was asked these questions, like, I just flipped a switch and I was just having a conversation with the person. It's like the camera wasn't even there, essentially. And that's a realization that I've had to make internally. But like, I even asked the other people that I ran into, I was like, because I was walking back and I went through one of the high schools in my neighborhood, and they're like, "You recording?" I was like, "Yeah." And I was telling them, it's just like, I just want to be like, I want to make YouTube videos. Like, this is what I want to do for like a living. I want to be able to create content. I just want to spend my days how I want to spend my days. I don't want to be told how to spend my days, essentially. I don't like that feeling. I don't like being told what I can and cannot do. I don't know where that comes from. Maybe I'll figure that out soon, and I'll have to ask some questions to be able to get to that point. All I can say is it's good to know that there are other people out there like me that struggle with the same thing, and I'm able to kind of reflect and realize that, like, I'm not alone in this, even though I always thought that I was. And in a certain regard, like, we all are still alone, but there's other people that are like still, like, they're with us. Makes sense. So yeah, just gotta stop letting other people decide or tell me who I am and who I can be and what I should do and what I should not do, because it really is all a scam. Like, I get to decide. I get to decide what I want to do. And it's not necessarily the destination. It's what I do every single day that helps me get to that point. Like, I focus so much on, like, okay, I need to be here, I need to be here, I need to be here. When in reality, I'm right here, right now. I can work towards that. And that's what I did. Like, when I go on walks, like, I start here, but then I end up all the way over there, because I take one step at a time. That's how I've been able to get to the place to where I'm at right now, is like all these books that I've read, like, I read them one page at a time. I didn't read the whole book in one go. Every book I read one page at a time. So why can't I do the same thing with YouTube? Like, make YouTube videos or like podcasts, one podcast at a time. Like, just do one thing at a time. I think I got so bombarded with doing all these different things that I needed to do everything all at once, when in reality, all I need to do is just focus on one thing and do that thing as best to my ability as I possibly can, and realize that, like, yeah, there may be some videos that do fail, that don't do so well, but that's not an impact on me. That's not an impact on who I am or my skills or my capabilities. Like, I could say the same thing for my 9-to-5 job, but dude, I can always go back and get a 9-to-5 job. I can't always take off 3 months, essentially. And I know, like, I could find a job like that, no problem. So I have the selling skills. Like, I'd have to update my resume. Like, it'd be simple enough. People might say, no, stay at your job, keep working, keep doing it. It's just not me. I proved to myself that I can make 10K. So, like, I know that I can do that now, at least. So if I ever need to do it again, like, I can, because I know that it's possible. And that's the cool thing about, like, myself, is once I know that something's possible, it's like, okay, let's keep doing this. But it's like, if I don't know that it's possible, it's like, crap, how am I going to get there? But as soon as I get there and as soon as I see it, it's like, oh, okay. So that's why I make these videos every single day. Like, it's to help me document my process and show me where I was at back when I look back at these videos. It's just a fun way to stay up to date with myself. So, talk with you guys tomorrow.